Today I am at the Arboretum Playground. This is not where I want to be, but it's where I am. I came down here thinking that I would make today's video over in the reflection riding Arboretum area. I was hoping that they had access to the tree house finally. I could go back and make that video I wanted to make there before, only to get here and find out they're closed on Monday. So when you're doing videos like this, always look at Google Maps and see if something's open or not. And I decided today, I decided this before I left the house, but I'm going to make it happen here in this wooded playground area. I decided that today I would make my video for next Saturday's photography channel using only the iPhone. And the reason that I'm doing that is because all of the images that I'm going to show from Ely and Cambridge were all made just with the iPhone in that video. So today you're going to see what will be the final result Saturday as I'm sort of putting this together. I don't know how much of it will be in the video or how much of it I will leave out, but you'll get a general idea. And hopefully on Saturday you'll go over, take a look at that video on my photography channel just to see the pictures. So anyway, let's get started. Welcome back to my photography channel. Today I am at the outdoor playground area of the Reflection Riding and Arboretum that is just at the base of Lookout Mountain. If you're on the St. Elmo side going up to Rock City, the Arboretum is on the other side of Lookout Mountain, and it's closed today. So I'm going to take advantage of this free playground area to talk to you about the images that I took while I was at Ely and Cambridge, because during that trip, I mentioned in an earlier video, other than the Canon R6 Mark II with a 10 to 20 millimeter lens that I used to take some of my pictures inside Ely Cathedral, everything else I did on that trip was all taken with my iPhone, because it is the only camera you need when you go on a trip. It's the only one. We'll talk a little bit about that as we wander around here and take a look at what's here. So one of the things I talked about in the video I did a couple of weeks ago is that on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, this may not be true about your camera, but on the i15 Pro Max, in the 1x screen lens, the 1x lens, the main lens of the camera, you can change a setting in there that will take it from 12 megapixels to 48 megapixels. That's at 24 millimeter. It's the only lens that will do that. Every other lens shoots at 12 megapixels. And honestly, it's enough. 12 megapixels is enough. But 48 is better. Now, I have my camera set up so that it automatically goes to, instead of 1x, it's 1.2x. So I'm automatically at 28 millimeter. That's where most of my pictures are taken. And that's at 35 megapixels rather than 48. So you lose a little bit there. Not enough to worry about. The thing about travel photography is you want to get a series of shots that give you the big picture of where you are. And so I took, that's one set of shots. So I took some pictures around Ely and around Cambridge that would give you this overall view of what it was like to be there. In addition to all of that, you need to get shots that are more of sort of a general milieu. If I'm saying that right, you can correct me in the comments. Just sort of a general feeling of what the area is like in general. Storefronts, people in the scene, looking down a street to see King's College Chapel in the background. And so I took several of those as well. And then you want to make sure also that you get some up close detailed shots. So I took a lot of images around King's College Chapel, some inside King's College Chapel. I've already shown you some pictures from Ely in another video, so I'm not going to go back there. But these up close shots, they add context to the photography of your trip. If this is all you did, nobody would know where you went. But at the same time, if all you did was a wide shot of King's College Chapel, or a wide shot of Ely Cathedral, or a wide shot of a street in Ely, people are going to get bored. So they need to be brought in with those medium shots and brought in more with these close-up detail shots like these right here. Now, one thing I did try that I have not ever tried before is to do a bracketed shot. So with the Canon R6 Mark II, all of my shots inside of Ely Cathedral were bracketed, which means that I had a lighting setup for a general shot, but I took 3 shots. I dropped the light down to -2, took a shot, brought it up to 0, took a shot, put it to +2 to take a shot. And the reason you do that is when you go to -2, you throw all of the shadows really dark, but the highlights in the windows are saved. And then when you go to +2, the highlights in the windows may be blown out, but the dark shadows have been raised up so you can see the detail. And when you blend those 3 images together in HDR, high dynamic range, in either Photoshop or Lightroom, I did mine in Lightroom, it blends all of those different areas of light so that the windows are seen, the shadows are seen, and then you can edit from there. So what I did with the phone was I put it on the Ulanzi MT79. I set it up there, and I got the shot that I wanted with the ultra wide lens. I think that's either 12 or 13 millimeter. And I set the shot up where I wanted it. I put my finger on a focus point. I touched the screen and held it so that that yellow box then locked in. And at the top of the screen, it will say AF EV lock. So the focus is locked on that spot, and the lighting and the white balance is locked. And I was able to take a picture. And then I took the EV setting down to -2. I'm still set up on that shot. Took another shot. I was using a 3-second timer. And then I put the EV up to +2, took another shot. So I had 3 shots, all focused on the same spot, the camera sitting still, just like my Canon R6 would do. And I brought those images into Lightroom. So here is what happened with the Canon R6 Mark II. And this is the shot that I took, the bracketed shot that I took with the phone. And honestly, if all I had was the phone and I didn't have the 10 to 20 millimeter lens on the R6 Mark II, I might have been able to get all the images I wanted with just that, but I wasn't going to risk it. All right, that's it for today. So you've seen what can be done taking pictures with just your phone. Now, all of these images were edited in Lightroom, of course, so I highly recommend that you don't try to edit them on your phone. You can, but I find that the ones that I edit on my phone turn out to be a little over-processed. You can't really tell what you're doing on this little tiny screen you're looking at. So whether you use Lightroom or some free version of an editor, if you can get it up on a computer screen, it's a lot better. I am planning a trip in November to Rome and Florence. I will take my RF 10 to 20 millimeter again to do some of my interior cathedral basilica shots. I'm going to take my 24 to 240 f4 to do some sunrise shots. I have a couple of spots lined up where I know I want to set up to do sunrise. And other than that, my camera and lenses will stay in the hotel room, and I will just be walking around with my phone and taking all of my travel photography with my phone. The one thing I didn't do on this trip that I will probably try to do there is I didn't get any shots with me actually in the picture. And with the phone, you can set a 10-second timer. So you've got plenty of time to set it up, walk into the frame. Maybe we'll do another video on how it's best to do those shots at some point. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think, and we will see you again next week.